What's up, guys? It's Jake here from Chief Live Gaming today. A quick little tutorial for you guys. Trying out a little bit different setup using my webcam overlooking the workbench here so I can talk whilst I'm painting for you guys and sort of give you a better look at what I'm doing while I'm painting these minis. That was one of the biggest requests I had over the last few tutorials was people wanted to see the brushwork and just kind of get a look at what I'm doing while I'm doing it, and favored that over the more sort of concise approach, a more kind of candid tutorial, and being able to see what I'm doing is something that I realize is pretty important. So we're going to try this out. Hopefully the quality is going to turn out okay. I'm sure there will be things that I will adjust as I get more used to it. So first tutorial I'm going to do with this little group of Pox Walkers here is blood. So blood is a way that you can very easily add a nice level of sort of interest to a miniature. Especially in Warhammer 40k, it's very grimdark, it's very bloody and nasty, really. So having blood, it would be sort of expected on your figures here as they're trudging through battle after battle. They're bound to get a little bit dirty. So we're going to use Citadel for this. This is a technical paint called Blood for the Blood God, as you may expect. There are some other good blood effects out there. Tamiya makes a good one. I forget the name. Of course, it's probably blood something. But Citadel is very widely accessible for a lot of us. And so I figured I would go with this. And I love this technical paint. I'm not a huge user of Citadel paints myself, but this is one that I always go for. So I would definitely recommend it. Now I'm going to give the pot a good shake since I don't think I've used this one in a while. And let's get started. So there's two things I like to think about when I'm painting blood on the minis. I like to kind of prop her open here with a little brush. There's the splatter, and then there's the drip or the goop, as I like to think of it. So the splatter is kind of going to be more widely covered on the mini, and then you want a few spots of like really thick blood, usually on something like the blade of a weapon or something like that, to show that the blood's really thick and maybe more fresh. So we're going to do both of those things here. Now the first thing we're going to do is the splatter. For that, I use this brush here. You can tell it's seen a lot. It's my blood brush. This is a very stiff bristled brush. Basically I use it for stippling is what we're going to do here. So if you don't have something like this, you could use maybe the brush you use to dry brush with, something like this, something like this, an older brush that's splayed out, something ideally a synthetic brush with very stiff bristles would work better than say your nice sable brush. So we want to stipple the blood to make it look like it's splattered. So let's do that now. Let's load up the brush, and to do this part you kind of want to get a lot on there. So basically what I'm going to do, this is loaded pretty heavily, and then I'm going to take some paper, some Kleenex or paper towel, and that white balance is terrible, but hopefully you can see, and just kind of mush it around almost like you're dry brushing, but not quite so much. And this is something you kind of get a feel for depending on the effect you want. So let's hopefully get this guy in the focus here, and we're just going to come in and stipple on, and you can see there it's not doing a whole lot. I took too much of the blood off of it, so let's get some more, just a little dabber, so you can kind of see that blood splatter. Now hopefully the camera will pick that up properly. It's a very aggressive effect. So let's see, we get a little bit of that reflection there. You can see it is subtle. So imagine that if somebody is, you know, hacking a limb off or something with this rusty little sword here, there's going to be a lot of splatter, right? So you maybe want to hit up onto the mini. Just usually what I do is I look for areas that need a little bit more of a pop or a little interest to them and put some blood there. I don't think about it too hard. So there. And I do apologize, guys. I hope the camera is picking this up. Again, this is a little bit of an experiment. Put it on. Just lay down the base. And then to kind of finish it off, I like to come in with a normal brush. So you can see here I'm loading it up in the background. I've got a nice little glob here on my brush, and I just like to find a spot that I want it and draw in some little dark areas. So that, in combination with the splatter, is a more realistic effect. And remember to do the other side of the blade. Don't just do one side. So because when you look at the mini from different angles, you want to be able to see. And I needed to do splatter there as well. And then another cool thing you can do, these are not the bases I'm going to use, but we'll just paint it anyway for the sake of the tutorial. You paint some drips. And again, we're just sort of touching the brush. Something like that. We're not going to think too hard. If you want to get fancy, you make a little runoff of the side of the base. That always looks pretty cool. Like maybe the blood is dripping off the blade. So very quick, very easy way to get some blood down. So weapons, that kind of thing. Another thing I want to show you real quick. These Pox Walkers, let's grab this guy here, have some nasty little wriggly worms and the like sort of crawling out of their wounds. This guy's having a bad day and his whole stomach is exposed. So another really good way to use this Blood for the Blood God is to just literally paint it in. So let's go in here and just pretty thick get it in there and kind of in the surrounding area. Get a nice thick amount, and then again with our stippling, we're going to get a little more on the brush this time, not take very much off, and sort of give a splatter. To the surrounding area. Maybe rebuild that up because I kind of wiped it off. That nice fresh blood look. And there we are. So it will dry and stay glossy like this. So it's important to remember to do this blood effect after you've put down any varnish that you're going to do or any sealant on your model, because if I was to come through after I did this blood effect and do, say, a matte varnish, it's totally going to ruin this gloss finish on the blood and it's not going to look right. So make sure that you do any kind of sealant that you want to do first. This is a last final step, the blood that you want to do. So again, really easy, very, very simple and straightforward way to just brighten up your model. You can tell here, I think I have a duplicate of this guy. Let's find one. Guys, there's so many Pox Walkers. Here we are. So let's see if I can do this. Before and after the blood, you can see that the guy that's bloodied up just looks a little nicer. Depending on the style you're going for, he looks a little more interesting. It doesn't really detract from his paint job at all. It just adds to it. But again, not for everybody. Make sure that you know what you're getting into, because if you put down too much blood, guys, it very easily and very quickly ruins an otherwise fantastic sort of paint job. So use sparingly, build it up slowly, and there we go. So Citadel's Blood for the Blood God, very good, solid blood technical paint. I would definitely recommend you guys check it out. If you have other products that you like to use for blood, leave them down in the description below so people can check those out, or in the comments rather, so that other people can get in on the cool blood paints. So thanks a lot for watching, guys. Be sure to check out my Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, Patreon, all that good stuff down in the description to get more involved with my channel and what I do. I am a full-time commission painter, so this is it for me, guys. This is my life. I love it, and I hope you guys can kind of join me in this journey here. So thanks for watching, guys. I'll see you in the next one. I hope you have a great day. Bye now.